Thursday the 28th of January 2021. I'm going to continue on with my A to Z of my Mare friends from the Irish National Stud. Now this is part 2. Now I'm going to continue on from where I left off yesterday. Before I go to the next letter, which is G, I'm going to go back to D because I left out one mare from the letter D yesterday. I only remembered, it's only today that I remembered who it was. I wrote Dark Ray. I can't believe I actually forgot to put down Dark Ray's name. So Dark Ray is another mare that I'm very friendly with. I forgot to mention her name, so fortunately I had to go back to letter D again before I go to the next letter. Dark Ray, I know her a long time. I know her since 2017. You go back a long way. She's very popular in the open stable. First got introduced to her around May, I think, around the same time that I got introduced to another mare who I'll be talking about later on. On May 13th, and we met her in. She had a bit of a. She had a record. There was a record of her in the open stable, but about the many times that she was in there. She might have been in there more times than the times that we saw her in there. But we go in there to the stud, and we go in there 3 days a week. We go to the stud. We go 3 days a week, which is Tuesday, Thursday, Thursday, and Saturday. Normally, that'd be our normal 3 days a week. Liam and I are regular visitors to the stud, and we go 3 days a week, and they're the normal days that we go. And the days that we went in at the time, it was around May 2017. Each time she was in there, there was we saw her 8 times in there, and then the days that we went in, she's probably in there more days than the days that we weren't in, and the days that we weren't in at the time. Around that time, she was probably in there more days. So 8 times we saw her in there, so it's quite a lot. We went in there a few times with them. So each day we went in around May, we always seem to wonder, is there a mare in the open stable? We've always wondered anytime we went into the stud. We always wondered, is there a mare in the open stable? Because the open stable is mainly used for if a foal or if the mare is lame, you know, if they've got injured or if they've got an infection or they're sick or something. That's what the open stable would be generally used for. So we always ask, I always ask Liam, do you see a mare in the open stable? So around May 2017, we've seen Dark Ray quite regularly. You see her all the time, you know. We all see, don't tell me she's in there again. She's in there again. Don't believe she's in there again. Oh, come on, she's in there loads of times. My God, and we went there a few times with Liam's mum. Liam's mum came along with us a few times to the stud, and you know, Liam's mum doesn't come that often with us, but she enjoys it. And she came with us one time, and she met Dark Ray, and she had a nice chat with her and stuff, you know. And she enjoys the time when she comes with us, and she doesn't come as often as we do, but she comes maybe a few times a year. And she's now become a season holder now, season member now. She's started to become a season member now. She's got a card now, but she was in there quite a lot and quite regularly, and she's in the stud there 2018 and 2019. She was due to come to the stud last year. We were asking about her last year. The Dark Ray come in, and remember the staff was saying, "Oh, she's in Millaroo, and she become the stud around April when she's in foal." And apparently, there's a few visitors were around, and we met up with a lady with her daughter. And apparently, they had met her a few times up in the paddocks, and they showed me photographs of her of her in the paddocks. You know, they took some photographs of her in the paddocks, and Liam and I never saw Doc Ray at all in the fields. We never saw her. We never saw her in the stable, the Sunchairs yard. Nothing. We never saw her at the fold. Nothing like that. And we never met her at all last season. So we had no idea where she was. And we're very friendly, so I'm very fond of Doc Ray. But she's a lovely mare, and she's the daughter of Doc Ray, daughter of Dark Angel, and Dark Angel is in Yeomantown Park Stud, Yeomantown Park Stud, where that is. I have no idea. It's somewhere in Ireland anyway. But that's where he is now, and he's also a grey horse. So she's a beautiful mare. So I've got to mention her yesterday. So that's another friend in letter T. So I'm going to Gina. Now this is a mare that I met only I think it was last year. Also I think it was the beginning of the season last year, before the stud closed with the COVID-19. We met her a few times. We met her in the open stable. She foaled with them Decoration Night. She had to foal with Decoration Night, and not Decoration Night. Beg your pardon. Saxon Warrior, big one. Saxon Warrior. She had a foal with Saxon Warrior. And her next meeting was with Decoration Night. Her next meeting is with Decoration Night. So her next foal is going to be by Decoration Night. So she'll probably be in the stud this year, because her next foal is by Decoration Night. So Gilt-Edge Girl is her name, and her name's mentioned on Decoration Night's poster, by the way. And she's a beautiful mare. She's also a chestnut, and she also has a long blaze down her nose. She actually looks like the female equivalent to Decoration Night. Actually, she's a beautiful mare, and she's gorgeous. I met her in the open stable, and I saw her once or twice in Nursery 1. In Nursery 1 a few times in Nursery 1. And I met her only really properly in the open stable with her foal, and a nice chat with her. Lovely intimate chats with her, and lovely chats with her, and I was able to do some whispering. They did some whispering with her, horse whispering with her. They did a bit of whispering with her as well, and so she's a lovely mare. She's so relaxed. She's very relaxed and lovely person, lovely character. You know, she's very friendly, very gentle mare. So I only met her the once, but she's a lovely mare. But now Gift from Heaven. This is another mare that we met, I think it was 2019. Gift from Heaven, she's also a chestnut. I only met her once as well, and it was up in the main Mares and Falls paddocks. Only met her the once, I think, as well. I was asking about whether she was coming back, and the staff said that she may be coming back. They said next year would have been last year. I was asking about her 2019. They said maybe next year would have been last year, 2020, but she didn't come back, so I didn't see her again. So I only had one meeting with her, and she's a lovely mare. I had a nice chat with her, and now Greenchill Dancer. Now I met her up at the Blanford yard. She's also another chestnut, but we had loads of chestnuts. There's lots of chestnuts in the stud. I mean, we seem to have loads of chestnuts in the stud, and so we do. We get loads of chestnuts and loads of bays. We get some greys, but it's mainly chestnuts and bays that we get. We had more chestnuts in the stud 2019, and then we did bays, and then before that we had more bays in 2017. So we seem to have them opposite 2019 than 2008, then 2019 then we did 2018. 2017 we had mixtures of both, so, and they had mixtures of everything, like greys as well, so, and oh, there's another beer I forgot to mention as well. She's only just up once, and I've got to put a letter in. I knew there's another Mare. I always seem to remember Mares at the last minute. I always seem to remember Mares at the last minute. Yeah, there you go. Just remembered it now. Just remembered one more Mare just at the last minute. Now, yeah, I knew there's something else. Yeah, I always seem to remember a Mare just at the last minute. I always seem to come into your head at the last minute. Yeah, but she's a lovely Mare, a Grange dancer. And I was joking about her name because I used to watch a TV program called Grange Hill. It's based in the school, and it was an English drama. It's an English drama. It's based in the school. It's actually a very good program. But I wasn't really a big watcher of it though. But it was very, very good series. Now, Grand Debut. Now, this is a Mare that I fortunately lost. She was I was literally heartbroken when they sold Grand Debut. Sorry. They sold her in the Foal and Breeder stock sale. The Mare's Mare Foal Breeder stock sale. Grand Beauty, we were very close. I had a very close connection with her. We had a lot of intimate moments, and I did a lot of whispering with her, and she seemed to take a liking to me. She seemed to, anytime she'd see me, she'd be over at the fence. Anytime she'd see me, she'd be over at the fence, you know, and she'd stay with me the whole time. She'd stay with me the whole time, and I'd be able to do my horse whispering with her. I'd be able to, you know, literally put her to sleep or relax her, and she just seemed to enjoy me, and she seemed to enjoy stroking her, rubbing her, and she just seemed to enjoy my company, and we had a very strong bond. She was a French mare, and I was literally heartbroken when they sold her. I was literally heartbroken when they sold her off. So I don't know where she's gone now, and I'm not too sure where farm she's gone to, where she was sold to, or how much she was sold for, or anything. I was watching it to be able to go to see her in Goss before she was sold. I had to say goodbye to her. I got some photographs with her, and see her off, listen to see her send off. I had a little time with her before she was sold off to say my goodbyes. It was very hard to say goodbye to her. Thought I'd never seen her again. It was very difficult, you know. I was very close to Grand Debut. She's a lovely mare. She's quite a small mare too. Come to think about it, she wasn't able to go right over the fence. She was so small. She's jet black. She's so calm, very relaxed mare. You know, she's not a bother. And she seemed to, anytime she'd see me, she'd be over at the fence. She'd say hello to me all the time. She'd always come over, keep me company. She'd stay with me the whole time. She seemed to enjoy me, just stroking her. She just seemed so relaxed, you know. She just seemed to love me stroking her and whispering her and talking to her, and she just stay with me for it. She just stayed with me for ages, and ages and ages. You know, she just loved my company. You know, we just had a very strong bond. You know, we had a very strong connection. Myself and Granta Butte, and now she's gone. So is she heartbroken now? Heartbroken. She heartbroken. It's not word to describe how I feel now. She's gone. Heartbroken. That's the only word I can just think of from this. Heartbroken. Now she's gone. Top up on any more. I got myself all upset. Now, Pavarana. This is another mare. Now she's only new. She only came to the stud last year. Only got introduced to her last year. Now I saw her recently in Twitter. Now she's in foal now with Invincible Spirit. Pavarana. I saw a photograph of her. It wasn't exactly a very good photograph of her. Actually, it wasn't a great photograph. It was taken on Twitter. It wasn't exactly a very good photograph of her at all. Now in the paddock, it was only a side view of her face, and I couldn't really get a good look. Couldn't really see her face very well because the sun was kind of blinding her face. It was kind of a side angle of her face, and the sun was kind of shining on her face. You couldn't really see her face very clearly, and she's wearing a rug. They have rugs in the mares now for some reason, and so she's all warm in a rug. They have rugs on the mares now. This must be a new thing that they're doing now, but wasn't actually a great photograph. So Havarana, she's back at the stud. So she's involved with Invincible Spirit. So she's another great friend of mine. She's only at the stud since last year, so she's back. And sorry, I'm not there with her now. Sorry, I'm not there to see her full. So I'm gutted now that can't be there now to see her new full now. I'd love to see her full. I'm literally gutted I can't see it now. Now Harriet Tubman celebrated her birthday yesterday. She was 9 yesterday. Happy birthday, Harriet. It was her birthday yesterday. She was 9, I think, yesterday. So she's another good friend of mine. I'm not too sure whether she's in the stud this year or not, but I think she was due to come, and she was talking to the guy from Brazil, I think 2 years ago, in the Mare stables, and she was at the other side at the time, the other side of the stud. I was asking was she coming back to the main stud, and she said she'd be coming back. She'd be coming back to the main stud some stage, but I didn't see her since. I haven't seen her since. I didn't see her last year, and I'm not too sure whether she started this year. I'm not too sure. I think she probably is. I'm not too sure. I do miss her. She's a lovely mare. I only met her. I only had one interaction with her. I think, as far as I remember, I had a photograph of her as well. And on the day that I met her, it was lashing rain. And it's actually lashing rain the day I met her. Lashing rain, and Liam forgot to wipe the lens before we took the photograph, and the photographs came out very blurry because he forgot to wipe the lens before he took the photographs. So he forgot to wipe the lens. If he had wiped the lens, the photograph would have come out a lot clearer. And so I was a bit gutted about that. It came out a bit blurry because he forgot to wipe the lens before he took the photographs. So it would have been a great photograph if he had wiped the lens. But she's a lovely mare. Now Abita, she's a lovely mare too. I'm very fond of Abita now. I've known her since I think it was 2019, and she was there again last year, and I got reunited with her last year. I only had one meeting with her in the field, and I met her a few times in the mare stables, so it was actually quite nice to see her again. It was lovely, great to see. It's nice to get reunited with her again. So it's great to see her back again. Pizza, she's a lovely mare. She's a bay, and she's got a slight star on her forehead. And I was talking to her 2019 in the Mare stable because I thought, Ibiza, I think it sounds like a great part of Spain. Or for the part of Spain where they have all the dance music, all the raves and the nightclubs and stuff like that. You know, part of Spain with all the clubbing, you know, the night dance music, and you know, like lovely chats with her in the Mare stables. You know, so it was lovely. It was actually lovely, you know, to see her again. So it was actually quite nice. It's actually quite nice to see her again back at the stud. So she's a lovely mare. But anyway, the next one is Jaconda. Now Jaconda is a mare. Now I met her, I think, I wasn't last year. My first meeting was, I think it was 2 years ago. I met her up in the Surgery 1. The Surgery 1, and we're going up towards the Surgery 1 one of the days. I can't remember exactly what time of the year it was, and we're going up towards this to go see if there's any mares. And I spotted a mare up in Surgery 1. I said, I think there's a mare up in Surgery 1. So I went up, and she was at the corner. So I went up to see who it was, and they said her name is Jaconda. So I was going up to say hello to her, and she had her bum against the fence, and she kicked the fence. She kicked the fence. So she obviously didn't want me to pet her, so she ran off. So she actually ran off and right into the middle of the field. So she obviously didn't want me to pet her. So she's one of those nervous mares. And then later on into the season, I met her again at the far end, at the other side, up towards the end of the other side. I think up in Surgery 2. And she was a lot calmer then. She was more calmer, and then she seemed to. Then she let me touch her. Then and we had a nice chat, nice hello. So, and actually, she actually came over to the fence. So actually, it's coming up towards the paddock, and she came over to the fence. She actually ran up to the fence. She ran up to the fence and said hello to me. So it was actually quite nice. I think she actually recognised me from the previous time. You know, when I was trying to pet her before. I think she actually recognised me. And then she came up to the fence, and I think she kind of realised, oh, this girl is very friendly. She's friendly enough, and I feel like I think I can trust her, you know. So I think that's why she came over. I think she felt that I wasn't a threat to her. So I think she felt I wasn't any threat to her, and she wouldn't. She knew that I wouldn't be any threat, and she wouldn't have any fear. She wouldn't have any reason to be fearful of me. So she came up to the fence and she said hi to me, and had a lovely chat. Nice intimate moment with her, pet her on her nose, and a lovely time with her for about 5 or 10 minutes. And then she went back into the middle of the field with her foal. So she's a lovely mare. And Catch Me Katie, now this is another mare that I know from 2017. Catch Me Katie. Now we met up with her daughter up in Goff's. Katie's Reign, at the mare's breeders' stock sale. We met up with her daughter, Katie's Reign, and we never think that she was the daughter because she's a bay, she's really light brown. She's kind of, her skin's very furry. It feels like fur. We touch her face, it feels like fur. You never think that she was the daughter of Catch Me Katie. And Catch Me Katie, when we first